This
Oh,
is Tom Chesser, your host on Business Innovators Radio, Business Innovators Magazine. And I am out here with all my friends, the publicity and the paparazzis, if you want to call them that. It's all my media partners that we're here to focus on a young lady that I think is doing an amazing deal. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person that is actually changing lives, helping lives, and positioning 1 million entrepreneurs worldwide to have their success. Number one global legal authority. And I'm telling you what, she has her own show, the Dr. Letty Show. And that show right there, I think, is one of the most powerful communication tools that she has. But I'm here with her today, and we're talking about celebration. So we're getting a party on right here, right now. We're getting down. We're getting down. So we're having this fun time celebrating who she is and the power of what she's doing in the lives of other people. And she understands. And I'll tell you right now, I believe in her superpowers. And I'll be honest with you, she's my attorney. And amazing thing to be able to help me and anytime I need her. And I would really love for her to talk now about her wins and her victories. And let's celebrate. Oh, by the way, can I say this? Today's your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Woo, woo,
I'm
woo.
gonna party like it's my
Let
birthday. Oh yeah, today is my
Absolutely. So if I
birthday.
had my music get on, it'd be the song Celebration. Good times. Come on.
Celebration time. Come on.
Woo.
I love that
We're
song.
having a party
Having
right
a
here.
party. I love it.
Absolutely.
I love
And
it.
we are because, it's time for us to really celebrate the power of people and what the influence that they're having. So, as a major influencer, let me ask you this question. As a major influencer and everything, share a little bit about what you're doing and how you're winning out there.
Yeah, I'm doing some good work, I'd like to believe, for others. I think the vid, as we call it in New York City, not COVID, but the vid has really knocked us out for the count, if you will. And we are trying to get back on our legs. We're trying to stabilize ourselves. And this is the time, I believe, that we can come together and do something for others beyond ourselves. And this opportunity of supporting each other becomes a win because you win, I believe, when you could do something for someone other than yourself. And if we think about the times that we're in right now, it's because of the support of others that we're able to move forward. It's because of the support of others that we can look forward to a better tomorrow. It's because of the support of others that we're not as worried and petrified as we were perhaps a year ago. So that's a huge win, I think, for all of us. And for me in particular, I have to tell you, Tom, it's been good people that have stepped forward, not just for other folks, but for me. They've come to say, Lydie, what do you need? And so I've learned from them to turn around and say, Tom, what do you need? And it's that sort of chain reaction, one helping the other, that we can now all count as wins for all of us.
You're absolutely right. And, when we open up our lives and we let other people into our lives, we have a bigger influence to many more people. And, it's amazing that you've got your show now. Tell me about your show. I'm so excited to be here and I see you there. And tell me your mission and really what your show's all about.
Well, it was interesting. I never thought of having a show. I consider myself an IPA. Not the beer, although that's equally yummy, but an intellectual property attorney, right? So my whole focus, my entire career has been how do I help creative individuals that are creating systems or they're creating ideas or a new way of doing stuff to protect that with the law, right? Monetize that. I'm from Brooklyn, so I believe in the dollar bills, dollar bills, dollar bills, right?
Show
If
me
you're
the
gonna
money.
show me the money. And I also believe that those dollar bills should exist beyond your lifetime. If you look at true wealth, at least in the United States, other than separate from other countries, but even then too, it's that intergenerational wealth. granddaddy built it or grandma, and then it became mom's or dad's, and it became yours and your brothers and sisters. What are we doing for the next generation? So for me, it's that intergenerational wealth that intellectual property provides us. And so few of us realize that. So the show is focused around the law that talks about that intellectual property. It's focused around the law. How do you protect? How do you monetize? How do you pass it on to the ones that you love? It's also focused around the concept of monetization,
Right.
right? For me, law and money are flip coins of the same. And when we begin to think of it that way, we're like, oh, but we tend to separate it, that money's over here, law's over there. Let's bring them like magnets, right, together and have them layer on top of each other. And the other part of the show is, I call it you. What is happening with you out in the world that's either making you better or that you need to be aware of, that you need to be cautious of? And what are some of the things that you can do to minimize the impact of the negativity and amplify the positive? So for me, I look at it from a holistic perspective, that you need those three elements to work in symbiotic relationship for you to be at your optimal performance. And that's what I hope the show will do for many, many, many people.
Right. And your show airs on Thursdays, right? And what?
Yeah, we've been playing around with the with the airtime, you know. It's one of these things, you know, like a lady, I'm like, what's the right pair of shoes to wear with this outfit, right? So we're like, is it 6 p.m., 7 p.m., Thursday, Wednesday? So I think we finally settled on Thursday at 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm an Eastern girl. And I think the lineup is going to be really, really awesome in terms of what's going to be ahead of me, what's coming after my show. So it gives really great content, and it's a great sort of middle point, if you will. But Thursday's a great day. Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern is going to be I want to call it an empowering time for
Right.
folks, right? An empowering time. So hopefully folks will take a moment, watch, comment, send me some notes, some emails. I love to get the feedback so I can improve it for you. So that's the plan.
Yeah, and you're positioning millionaires and entrepreneurs, 1 million entrepreneurs. It's kind of funny how that you set that goal, uh,
Mhm.
worldwide, and
Yeah.
so getting the recognition for who you are worldwide has been important to you because you're a global, number one, global legal authority, and and that's something to say about the power of who you are. So talk about positioning. How
Yeah.
are you positioning these people as entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So I've worked for the United Nations, both in Latin America and the Caribbean, to work with the entrepreneurs in those countries about how they take their products, their services, their ideas global. How do they sell it in the US? How do they sell it in Europe? So I've done it from that perspective. I've also done it from the perspective of the Small Business Administration here in the US. How do you position, right, in terms of place businesses in a manner that they can begin to generate income, they can begin to generate impact, they can begin to generate clients based on what they provide? And that's an interesting formula. It doesn't happen by happenstance, right? You've
Right,
really got to work that in
right,
terms of making that work for folks. So for me, I've seen it from a global perspective. I've seen it from a country perspective. I've seen it from a local perspective. For me, my dad was a business lawyer back in the day, right?
oh, back in the day.
In the 1960s, 70s, 80s, he was a business lawyer in Brooklyn, and he worked with a vast group of entrepreneurs, all different cultures and languages and races and ethnicities. And he had a business partner, and that business partner who he trusted, and they built this together, ran off with all the money one day, absconded, as we say,
Oops.
with all the money, could not find this dude. And my dad was so ashamed that here he is, this
Right,
intelligent man, this
right,
strong man, this
and
this father,
right.
right, and a respected member of the community, and he
Yeah,
got hoodwinked.
yeah, he got duped.
He got duped, right? So it can happen to the best of us. You just don't know.
Oh,
And
trust
this
me,
is
yes,
where
I know that.
Yeah, it could happen to the best. You have to be aware of what's going on in your business. So the shame of it caused him to leave my mom. And my mom, as beautiful and caring
Oh,
as she
wow.
was, she could not maintain the lifestyle to which
They were
she
accustomed
had
to.
or we
Right.
had become accustomed. And we went from being very well off in the 70s and 80s to being poor. And I mean poor, poor. I mean shelter poor. I mean homeless poor. I mean no place to live poor. And I tell people that story not to make them feel sad for what
Yeah.
we went through. I tell people that story because you too can achieve. And I remember sleeping on the floor of the shelter, cold at times, scared because my mom got the little cot. We wanted
Right.
her to have that.
Right.
And I remember singing one song, and it's a song I still sing to this day. It's this little song. And we were talking about nursery rhymes a little earlier.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's this one little song that I always used to sing, and it gave me comfort. And it was, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Yeah.
No matter what they say, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine." And that was my prayer, if you
Absolutely.
think, right? Every night. That gave me strength. I wasn't scared anymore. And through that period of my life, I learned something. It's resilience. No matter what comes at you
Right.
unexpectedly, you can withstand it. So, and you can turn it around to make it positive. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying it can be done, that you can survive just about anything that comes your way. So I've blended that into the type of law that I do, protecting what you're building, monetizing what you're building, globalizing what you're building, because I believe in building a pathway for others, right? Because someone did it for me. I went
Right.
from being well-to-do, poor, poor,
Oh, poor.
right, po, and being a graduate of Columbia University,
Right.
getting my law degree from Fordham, getting my MBA from NYU, getting my PhD from University of Barcelona in Spain. That would never have happened if people didn't believe in me. That would never have happened if I didn't believe in myself. And I
Right.
try to give that back with what I do.
You know, that's the most beautiful analogy that I've ever heard. And I've taught my kids this all the time. To be the best, the
Mm-hmm.
acronym for best is BEST. And I think that stands for belief, enthusiasm, skill, and tenacity. You know, if you don't believe in yourself, if you doubt yourself, or you doubt the person that made you to be great
Yes.
as you are, if you doubt yourself, you don't have and stay excited. If you believe in yourself and you believe in who you are and you believe the power of what you have and you believe that can change the world, you are so excited. You're your number one biggest fan. They can't shut you down, stop you, drench you, quench you, pull you. If you got that enthusiasm, there's nothing that can stop you on that. But also, you have to hone your skill to think about all the degrees and think about all the hard work that you put into what you are today in order to help one person. Just one person is amazing that you did what you did and how you did it. So you never stopped learning and you're
Right.
still not learning. You never stop. So
You
in
never
that
stop.
situation, so after skill, you put tenacity. Tenacity is that bulldog grip. You ever been bit by a bulldog? You ever heard of a bulldog biting somebody? They don't let go. You can shake, you can do whatever you want to. You beat
Right.
that dog to death almost, and that dog's never going to let go. So if you believe in yourself and you're enthusiastic and you stay honed on your skills, that tenacity is the single biggest thing that you can have, like you're talking about, right?
Mhm.
Resilience.
Mhm.
Resilience. Stick to the job until you get it done. But if
Yeah.
you don't believe in yourself and you're not excited about what you do and you don't have your skills, you become not the best. So having that thing is really what I think best is all about.
Oh, I
And
agree. I agree completely. And there's so many things that make us doubtful. I think doubt is one of the biggest sort of dream suckers, if I could call
right,
it, right? You start doubting yourself. Why? Why? Learn what you need to know. the tenacity, learn what you need to do, experience what you have to experience. You never know what's going to come out of it,
Right.
right? You don't know. And you don't know who's going to show up to help you. That's the beauty of, I think, what happened in my family or happened to me. People did show up to help.
Right.
Oftentimes it wasn't a whole lot of help, but it was just enough to keep you going, right? It was just enough
Yeah.
to keep dreaming and keep moving forward. So I hope the show gives people just enough to keep
Just
them
enough.
going. Just enough to keep it going.
I tell you what, I'd already sign up. You know, I'm a believer. I'm already signed up. I'm already in it. And I know that
You
with you
are,
on my side, with
you
you on my
are.
side, I can win anything. And that's the power of who you are. You
Right.
have added so much value. You've added that basically what I call it a value added proposition
Mhm,
that you have. And it's not just one thing you do, it's a lot of things you do. It's not
mhm,
just one thing that you help people with, it's a lot of things. Generating
mhm,
wealth is one of the
mhm.
things you do. Things that you do in order to help people get ahead of the game.
Right.
Because the beauty of it is you have a story of tragedy to triumph, but you had a story of triumph, tragedy, and triumph all over it.
All over
It's
again.
one thing to be, go from tragedy to triumph. It's another thing to go from triumph to tragedy to triumph again. And how many times, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up.
Yeah.
It's how many times you fight to keep to fight.
Right.
And you get to take all the punches you want to get, but you got to keep giving the punches back.
You're so
And that's
true
what you
on
got.
that. Tom, you're
That's your
so
realize.
true.
I mean, there's
FDR, President FDR, gave a speech one time, and he sort of encapsulated what you're sharing, Tom. And to paraphrase him, he said, "To the victor, it's not the person who wins; it's the person who's been bloodied on the floor.
right,
People have given up, and he stands again and
right.
again and again."
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I'll never forget. I'm gonna say this. I know this is more celebrating you, but I was asked to be the media for a boxing event, a national boxing event on TV.
Mhm.
And so I went the day before, and I'm interviewing all the fighters, and they're talking about, like Muhammad Ali, flow like a
Oh,
butterfly,
yeah,
sting like a bee. I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. I'm gonna put this boy down.
yeah.
I'm gonna hurt this guy. You know what I mean? And they're talking all this smack. Then when the fight happens, and three fights stood out the most to me. One of the fights was clearly, the guy was outclassed. He didn't have the skills that the other fighter
Right,
had.
right.
So that didn't last but maybe one or two rounds, and it was a TKO. He was
Mhm,
down for the count.
mhm,
Another one stepped in there. You know what I mean? And so they threw in that towel. Another one got in there, and he clearly knew his skill,
mhm,
and he was honed to perform. And of course, he was a victor of that one. The one I was so impressed was with like a David and Goliath fight. Big, tall guy and a little bitty guy. And they get in there. But the funny part about that big, tall guy, I thought, man, but all of a sudden, that big guy, he's fighting and he's doing it. And he gets hit below the belt. Hit below the belt. He goes on the ground. You and the referee's wanting to come in there and call the fight. Call the fight. He raises up his glove, his hand, and
yeah,
no, 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 no. I'm not going out like this.
mhm,
This isn't how I came into the ring, and this is not
right,
how I'm leaving the ring. Gets back up, and it wasn't any fault. The little guy just couldn't. So now, here comes again. He gets hit below the belt one more time. One more time. He goes down this time, and he takes him quite a while to get back up, but he still raises his hand and says, no, 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 no. I'm not going to give up this fight no
right,
matter what. You
right.
can hit me anywhere you want to hit me, and I'm going to get up and hit you back.
Mhm,
So the third time that happened. But anyway, so he kept fighting the fight, and he ended up winning, right? He ended
right.
up winning because what he didn't do, he didn't toss in the towel, and he refused to be knocked down. He kept getting back up and
Mhm,
up and up and
mhm,
up because he didn't want to go out that way.
right,
And I was so impressed because you start the race, you run the race,
right.
but you finish the race.
You finished the race. And
Finish the
that,
race.
yeah, I love it. And that's the champion mindset that I love. That regardless of the odds, you keep going. And which is why I now have the opportunity, in addition to the show, to have a channel. And guess what I chose to call it? Champion Leaders Worldwide. I
Woo!
want fabulous,
Party. That's
tenacious,
party, man.
not give up people on this channel because
Right.
we can learn something from them,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
right? We can all benefit from the experience that they've had, and they're going to share it so beautifully. This is the mark of a champion. I forgot the book it was that said, "Send us your champion." And when
Right.
you hear that, "Send us your champion," I want people to think of the channel because here are individuals from business, from health, from law, from just being a good person.
Right.
They stand up for themselves and they stand up for others. And that is the mark of a champion, that you stand up.
That's right. And you know, so it's really crazy that, you know, you got so many opportunities here and so many different ways to help people. What are some of your wins? We've been celebrating who you are. Tell me some things where you're helping people win.
I have helped people win in terms of um, buying homes, keeping their homes, right? Those that didn't know how to do that. I have helped people win in terms of an idea that has become a major product that they
Right.
didn't think they could do, right? I have helped people win in terms of my most famous client of all, who is one was passed away, um, was the artist formerly known as Prince.
Oh wow.
We the legal team that
Right.
came together to reconstruct his contract, to give him more freedom to do different types of songs and
Right.
support different types of artists that weren't being given an opportunity that his original contract didn't allow him to do, right? So reformatting that and turning him into a different artist, right? Not the one that originally signed, but this
Right.
new artist that he had become.
Ooh,
We use the power of the bankruptcy code to do that. I tell
right.
people law is powerful. How does the
Right.
bankruptcy code let you get out of a contract? We should talk, right?
Yeah.
So these,
Exactly. They want to
right,
talk to you.
these are the things that you can do when you have the right tools, the
Right.
tenacity, and you have good people. Right now, what I'm working on is providing people the legal education to do things in their business and in their lives that they were never taught to do. And shame on American education. And I say this as, and I'm a former law professor of 20
Right.
years.
Right.
So I can say this with all
So
of
did.
the knowledge, right? Right. We do not teach our students to be entrepreneurs,
Right.
period. We teach them to be employees for someone else. That's it. So if entrepreneurs wonder why they can't have a beautiful, growing, successful business, nobody taught you. That's not part of the American educational system, is to make you an entrepreneur. The system is to make you an employee for somebody else.
Right.
And once you figure that out, you then realize you have to relearn some things, right?
Yeah, so you know, people make money and they make wealth, and a lot of your stars and NBA players and NFL players and all kinds of athletes and everything, they're great athletes, but they're not always good business people. They're not the CEO. You understand that. And a lot of these get wealthy and overnight and then they lose their wealth, you know. So you being able to teach them how to keep that, to maintain that,
Mhm.
to grow that, and use it in combining the law that you have and the experience that you have, I think is phenomenal. And you have been on with a lot of celebrities. I'm going to say that because, yeah, you've been on the stage with some presidents, and you've been on the stage with some celebrities, and Prince, and all these other ones. You know, and one thing that I can honestly say that these people admire you in order to bring you in and make you part of their entourage. But in that being part of their entourage, you're actually the person that's making them be successful and keeping them successful. Tell me a little bit about those kind of people. I don't
Yeah.
mean to name drop. No, you don't have
Yeah, I won't name drop, but you
to. Too
know,
bad.
those types, I could for some, but those types of people, we love celebrities, right?
Right.
For us, they are the example of what we aspire, hope one day to be, right?
Right.
They have arrived already. We are working our way towards the port of arrival, right? As they say on the cruise ships. But those people that we call celebrities, the thing that I want us to remember the most about them is that they were once like us. They were once dreamers trying to accomplish something. They were once people that hoped people would give them a shot, give them a chance, give them an opportunity. Let me get in there, right?
Right.
Let me do
Hey,
something.
coach, put me in. I want to play.
Put me in. I'm ready, right? And then you get sucker punched. But the key is that the people that we call celebrities are people that have stayed the course. It goes back to what we were talking about. The reason
Right.
they're celebrities is because they didn't give up. The
That's
reason we have the stages is because they didn't give up.
right.
The reason that they're able to influence and be a celebrate, the Greek word
Right.
celebrate, someone who is known, right?
Right.
Because they did not give up. So if part of our psyche is to instill within us, do not give up, no matter what.
Right. Right.
The house got
Believe in
foreclosed
yourself.
on, don't give up. The business fell apart, don't give up. Your best bud ran off with someone you cared about, don't give
Don't
up.
give up.
Right? Don't give up. Stay the course, because when we check
Right.
out, then we've given up the possibility of
Right.
ever becoming that champion. So that's the thing about celebrities, is that they didn't give up. That's why you get to see them so visibly, is because they
Absolutely.
truly are the champions
Yeah. Yeah.
of whatever they've overcome in their lives.
Yeah. But
So
athletes work their butts off to get their skills all the way through grade school, high school, college, NBA, whatever they do, and then they have a short window of opportunity, to really shine during that time. Then what do
mhm,
they do next? And there's a lot of them have been very, very successful in getting their businesses started, being entrepreneurs, and really shine. But all the
mhm.
time they were a star anyway. So we're here like today to talk about you being a superstar, right?
Ooh, I love that.
Oh,
I
and
love that.
and
I
so
like to thank the Academy for the award.
yeah, I'd like to thank my mommy. I'd like to thank my daddy. My
That's
best one, was the
right.
all-time speech that Matthew McConaughey gave when he accepted his award.
That's right. Oh
The three people
yeah.
that I look up to, and he used his self, and so it's one of those things where it's amazing what you're doing and how you're teaching people to step up, step out, and
Yeah.
control their life. Take control. Take
Right.
control, because every one of us need to do that. But you're
Hmm.
teaching people to have ultimate success, and that's
Yeah.
what I like about it. So in wrapping things up today, it's your birthday. You look gorgeous, by the way.
Thank
You're
you. A
sitting
little
there
glitter
all
goes a
shiny
long way.
glitter.
What was that? What was that
Juicy.
movie where where one of the actresses said, "I'm ready for my close up"? Right? Who was it? I've been trying to remember that all day. Who would say that? I'm ready for my close up? Right?
Ready for my clothes.
I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I know we got information on your wall and stuff like that, Facebook and Twitter, all the things that we can reach out. Tell us the best way to reach out to you, and what we need to do.
Yeah. So for me, probably the best way to reach out to me is to get on my calendar, and I want to talk to people. I'm a
Yeah,
talker, right? I'm a Brooklynite, right?
you are.
We talk a
You
lot
are.
of smack, but we also try to deliver on that smack, right? We wouldn't be who we are as Brooklynites if we didn't deliver on the smack. So if you want to get a hold of me, you can text law to 55678, which is on
Right.
my
Right.
show. That's probably the quickest way, right? That'll
Okay.
come to me. But also get on my calendar, and I use a very simple link. A lot of us are using the Calendly link, right? The
Right. Right.
calendly.com/Dr. Liddy. And there you can see, so calendly.com/Dr. Liddy. You can get on my calendar. As I do these quick chats to
Right.
see what it is do you need that I can, and can I help? And if I can't, let me refer you to someone that I believe can help.
Right. Right.
Right? I
Right.
don't want to waste your time, right? I want to get you to the right person for you. Sometimes it is me, and sometimes it's someone that I know.
Well, I'm
That's
glad it's you with me.
I'm hanging with Tom all the time. There's no
Hanging
doubt.
with Tom all the time.
I'm hanging with Tom all the
Hanging
time.
with God. Yeah.
Yeah, hanging with God. God is
And I
always in
think
the
what it
mix.
is, this is really, and the beauty of all this, I'm going to be honest with you, the beauty of all this is how we got together to meet each other, and the referral that it was given to you that was shining. Of course, you've been on the stage with a lot of my dear friends and some of my clients. And it's amazing to me that they came back to me and you got to have Dr. Liddy. You got to have Liddy. You got to. I'm like, okay, okay, okay. It was like, so your people out there believe in you because you have helped them,
Yeah.
and helping others, you help yourself, and in helping the world, you become a better place. But it really
Mm-hmm.
is a God thing for me. It really is. Meeting you has been an amazing experience, and I cherish it and I appreciate it so very much. So I want to say thank you for me. Okay, so but I want to keep celebrating you.
Keep
So
celebrating me, but let me tell you this, Mr. Tom, the feeling is extremely mutual. You have a spirit within you that is so energizing, that is so touching to those that you come in contact with. And now I know why so many people reach out to you. So many celebrities reach out to you because you are a godsend. And I want you to hear it from me, because I know what it is to meet good people. And you are good people, Mr. Tom. You are good people.
ooh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll let me. I might have to take a hat off to scratch my big head now. Uh, you can give me the big head. But I know that's coming from a heart of love
Oh,
and a heart of belief. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And I'm saying right now, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that.
you're
And some of
welcome.
my biggest
And
fans are
I wanted
saying,
to share that with you because
thank you.
we go through tough times, all of us do, every single one of
Oh
us,
yeah, oh yeah.
right? And as I tell people, I know how good you are when you're known by your friends. When your friends say good things, then you are in fact a good person. And your friends say a lot of good things.
Ooh, now I'm blushing. You see me turning red? Okay. Well,
I made you blush. I made you
yeah, I know. You
blush.
turned this on me. You turned the tables on me. That's just like you. That's just like you. No, we're talking about Dr. Liddy. No, we're talking about Tom. Okay, no, Dr. Liddy. No, talk about Tom. And that's one of the things that, yeah, I've had some, some of my people, my clients, my friends are my biggest fans.
Yeah.
When they see what I have done to elevate their exposure and get
Mhm.
them that third party validation and get them on media sites, it's good. But really about it, all it is just is edification.
Right.
When you
Right.
edify somebody else, you're going to edify yourself.
Right.
When you learn the lesson of
Right.
not me, it's you. It might be about me, but it's really about you. When you learn the lesson of doing that for others, you learn the lesson that's going to carry you a long way in life. And
Mhm.
that's why you have put together what you have. I mean, you can isolate yourself and you can be the lawyer that you're going to be
Mhm.
because you are the number one global business legal authority today. I mean, you're it. Nobody can deny who you are, but it's who you are because you have opened up to so many great people, right? And
Yeah.
that's a miracle within itself. So you are a miracle, but you are somebody
Yeah.
else's miracle, and you became my
Yeah. It's
miracle.
an opportunity to serve.
Yeah,
I tell my clients, when you're known by the work that you do for others, you truly are. If
right.
you do good work, you'll be known. If you do not so good work, you'll be known too, but not for the reasons you want to be. So do good work. It's a simple
It's
formula.
just
It's
that.
fast, it's easy. Do as much good for as many people as you come in contact with.
Yeah,
That is the formula.
yeah.
Done.
I don't mean to get churchy on you, but the situation they said the biggest accolade that they had about Jesus Christ when he walked the face of this earth is they said he went about doing good.
That's
He went about doing good.
it.
He went about doing good. And every miracle that Jesus Christ performed, he used the human touch of somebody else. He had to
Mm-hmm.
always put somebody else into that miracle.
Mm-hmm.
And you are a miracle, but
Thank
you
you.
are also my miracle.
And you're my miracle. You see
Yeah.
how it works?
Oh yeah. The miraculous deal. So I'm going to
I
keep
love it.
bragging about you. I'm going to be talking about you. I can't help to tell people about you and get you hooked up with all my friends. And you're in a network right now. And I noticed that you had the Easy Way Wall of Fame network up there.
I do. I have the Easy
Yeah.
Way Network.
It's on the
Love
other
that.
side. That's okay. You can point the other side. But
Yeah,
yeah,
what,
see.
yeah, that was it.
Now you got it. Now you got it.
To the left, to the
Yeah,
left,
yeah,
to the
yeah, do
left,
that. That's a better move.
left. I can't see behind me,
I know that. I do the same thing, man. I'm constantly doing that. It's so funny. You can't help me having a blast, but we're here, and I thank you for allowing me to take this opportunity. I really do, to celebrate you And it's really is an amazing journey that you've been on. People need to hear about it. People need to know about it. But you know what's so beautiful about that is you're carrying a heck of a lot of people right along with you. This is not your journey. It's
Let's
everybody's
do it.
journey. You're serving, you're helping so many people behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. And thank you so much for taking this time to come on top of my and talk to me, and let's celebrate you.
Well,
And
thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time. It's not every day that the hard work that we do is celebrated. It's usually behind the scenes, but we know we've done good. So thank you for bringing me into the spotlight. I appreciate that tremendously. So I can't wait to do so many wonderful things
we
with
are. We're headed to the right grade. I see greatness in you, and I see things greater than, and that's who you are. So greater things than this show you do, and you're doing a marvelous job. So you just keep it up. You're looking good. It's your birthday, and we're having some party time going on right now. So
you. Oh, yeah.
one more time. Ah,
I
woo, woo.
love
I have the
it. It's
hand
my
clappers. I've
birthday.
got the celebration graffiti. Not graffiti, it's confetti.
Confetti,
Graffiti's
not
in,
confetti.
in
I
Brooklyn,
love
right?
that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Tom.
Thank you. This
Appreciate
is
you.
Tom Chester, your host for Business Innovators Magazine, Business Innovators Radio, Authority PressWire, Small Business Trendsetters. And I'm going to sign this show off by saying, I'm going to tell you right now, the one thing that I talk about all the time is working together, right? Working together, we all can make a difference.
Yeah.
It just depends on what kind of difference you want to make. So let's make this thing shine and shine and shine.
Like a
This little
diamond.
light of mine is
I
going to
love it.
shine. One more time, close this out. This little light of
This
mine.
little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. No matter what they say, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Woo! Boy,
Shine.
you got some pipes. Anyway, thank you so much, and I'm going to say for now that's the show. And thank you once again for everything you do. You're wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tom. Appreciate you.